finding SOMA breathwork was, the way I saw it, was an opportunity to follow a deep desire and soul passion of mine to bring the medicine of breath to the world. I love the way in which you guys wove together the idea around how manifestation works, especially with breathing, with breath work, and how we can really tap into these expanded states of consciousness. And
so today I've got a very, very, very cool instructor of ours, Christopher August, who has a very interesting journey after doing our instructor training, which I really want to dig deep into. So Chris, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, you can introduce yourself, what you're doing now, and what did you do before you became an instructor?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And it's great to be here and great to join you. And yeah, it's been a very interesting journey, as we all have, right? Our own hero's journey in a way. And, you know, for me, finding SOMA breathwork was the way I saw it, was an opportunity to follow a deep desire and soul passion of mine to bring the medicine of breath to the world. So before the training, you know, I had gone on a very powerful and transformative journey within myself, having quit my corporate job in 2012, moving to Africa, where I served as a Peace Corps volunteer for 2 years, serving the community there as a health and business volunteer, and then coming back to the sort of modern world in a way in 2015, really having my arms wide open to receive whatever would come my way. Now, the passion that really was underneath the surface was all around holistic wellness, was around personal growth, was around spirituality. And I started to go through these different trainings and certifications as a transformational coach, as an herbalist, as an energy worker. But a very interesting thing happened in 2016. I was speaking at a festival, and the yoga teacher, actually, she couldn't make it for some reason. And the lady's like, "Can you teach yoga? Can you do something?" Even though I was speaking at the festival, I'm like, well, I could teach people how to breathe. You know, it was the first thing that came to my mind. And so I led 50 people through this experience where just very intuitive. And I realized at that point that there was a gift there, that there was something there that, you know, I really wanted to share deeper. But I, you know, even though I was practicing breath work a lot, I wanted to go through a training. And so that's when I stumbled upon SOMA breath and you guys, and really, for me personally at that time, it was, like I said, an opportunity, because from there I could dive deeper into not only the science, but the spirituality of breath. And I love the way in which you guys wove together the idea around how manifestation works, especially with breathing, with breath work, and how we can really tap into these expanded states of consciousness. And so there was a big appealing factor there, as I had researched a lot of different schools, a lot of different certifications. SOMA was definitely the one at the top of the list.
Amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the training? Like, going through the course.
Yeah. So, you know, from what I could recall, you know, it was several years ago now. And from what I could recall, the training itself was very powerful and helpful. You know, I really feel that there was a lot of detail put into it, a lot of ways in which I could understand how this was working, right? Because oftentimes we're having these peak experiences, but we don't really actually know what's going on. So understanding the nervous system, understand the vagus nerve, understanding the entire somatic mind-body complex overall, and how that played a role in regulating our emotions, bringing us into a place of harmony and coherence within ourselves, and helping us to really bridge the gap between who we are in this human experience versus who we truly are in our spirit form and our soul form. And that, for me, is really important, because the work that I do now and how I facilitate, it's taking people on soul-based spiritual experiences where people can connect with that true self, right? That identity that's shed beyond all of the different stories, the judgments, the criticisms we carry within ourselves. And so I really liked what SOMA did in that regard, as well as really helping us to shed the limiting beliefs and come into our power as the creators we are.
Wow, amazing. I love it. So you had quite a powerful experience going through training, and then what happened next is really interesting. So do you want to share then like what you started to do after the training.
Yeah, absolutely. So after the training is an interesting time because I think it was back in 2018 or 2019. I can't remember exactly, but nonetheless, for me, I knew that I wanted to create, I wanted to facilitate. And so, as small as it was at the time, it was exactly what I needed. I started to do free and donation-based breathwork sessions in my local park. I would have, I don't know, 3, 5, 15 people come out at once. I would lead them through a SOMA breath journey and really help them to experience the power of their own breath. And so I started in a very grassroots way, right? Very organic. And people started to have these really beautiful experiences. And so for me as a facilitator, as a space holder, I began to understand how to work with the energetics of people, right? Which is extremely important. Now, paired with my coaching background and all of that, it really helped to support people when they had deeper transformational experiences. And, for me personally, I think it's very important for any instructor to first be able to create a safe and supportive space within themselves to then be able to create that for others. And so that's a very, very foundational piece of any facilitation, specifically with breathwork. So for me, again, I started very grassroots and then I started to grow. I started to do paid offerings as I got more confident in my abilities. And around the same time, about a year later, I met my now business partner, Johnny Buffalo, and we created our own experiences. As a musician, as a producer, we started to collaborate together. Me now having the certification through SOMA, having the understanding of how to guide people through a deep and transformative experience, and Johnny having created music, we've came together to create a brand, Beats and Breath. And, since then, it's been a very interesting unfoldment from doing 60, 70 person breathwork journeys in my buddy's garage and, the countryside of New York during the pandemic, to then having an online presence, to now having an app, and all of these things that have unfolded since. But, as I've told you offline, as I've told you before, I contribute a lot of my experience, a lot of where I am today to SOMA Breath and how I've been able to take that training and amplify it to the next level within myself and my own business.
Wow, so Johnny Buffalo and Christopher August, you sound like rock stars. Spiritual rock stars.
Amazing. Yeah, we're getting there, I guess.
Cool stuff, man. So can you tell us then how's it doing? Like you have an app, right? So tell us more about that. How's it doing? Like how's it going? It sounds like it's already taken off in a great way.
Yeah, so before the app, we had just a simple membership community online where we would do, weekly facilitation. We do courses. We had guided sessions and all of that we would release. And then we started to see that grow. And then over this past summer in 2023, we had somebody come on board who found an interest in what we were doing because of his own peak experiences and decided to invest in us. And so we were able to build what we had envisioned for a long time, an app. And so now in November of 2023, we launched the app and we have a pretty large subscriber base. I think as of right now, today, we probably have close to around 14 to 15,000 now of downloads and a decent amount of subscribers that have all really had these incredible experiences using the power of our breath work. And so, the opportunity is limitless in the way that I see it. And, in this world of breath work, which is probably one of the fastest growing healing modalities out there. And I know, with SOMA, you guys caught the wave early and really bringing this deep transformation to people. The same goes for us, and really what our intentions are is in the foundations of what we've created to bridge the gap between breath and sound and bringing those two primordial forces together to create deep healing and helping people to awaken to who they truly are. So for me, the sky's the limit. We're just getting started and I'm really excited for the potential of where this is all going.
I love it. So inspiring for probably a lot of people listening to this. So also Chris and me are going to collaborate. We're going to do a breath journey together, which is super cool. You've already made one half of it. I'm going to do the other half. And you just reached out. So I definitely want to encourage people, if you got a great idea and you need our support, reach out. Don't be shy. We're always there to entertain great ideas. So I can take it you made your investment back then on the training.
100%, 1,000% actually. I mean, for anybody, I guess I'll just go out there and say it. Like anybody that's looking for a solid foundational base to understand the power of breath and what it can do, not only for your life, but for the lives of others. What SOMA breath does is bring together this beautiful holistic view of breathing. And